Hello students, in today's session we will be discussing some problems related to the information theory. So where in the previous class we discussed about dependent sequences as well as the properties of entropy. So now the problem statement is like this. So where the output of an information source, it consists of 150 symbols, where 32 of which occur with a probability of 1 by 64 and thus remaining 118 occur with a probability of 1 by 236. So this source emits 2000 symbols per second. Assuming that the symbols are chosen independently, find the average information rate of this source. So here it is an independent sequence what we are considering here. That means to say that the symbols are emitted independently and we need to find what is the average rate of this information source. So we already know that in order to find the average information rate, so we require the formula Rs is equal to H of S into Rs bits per second. So this is the formula what we require to calculate the average information rate. So now we need to find what is your entropy, that is H of S. So where H of S is given by H of S is equal to summation of I is equal to 1 to Q Pi log of 1 by Pi bits per message symbol. So this is the formula what we require to calculate the entropy, that is your H of S. So now how many number of symbols are emitted? The total number of symbols emitted are 150. So the summation varies from I is equal to 1 to 150 symbols, and corresponding to that what is the probability we need to substitute here. So but in this case, so here among the 150 symbols, so they have given that 32 of which occur with a probability of 1 by 64. That means summation varies from I is equal to 1 to 32. So among them, how many of them occur with a probability of 1 by 64? So that means 32 of which occur with a probability of 1 by 64. So where we have considered among 150 symbols, so 32 are occurring with a probability of 1 by 64. That means 1 by 64, that means Pi log base 2 of 1 by Pi means it is 64 multiplied by 32 plus, so we need to consider totally 150 symbols. So we have considered only first 32 symbols. So now the remaining symbols, that is from I is equal to 33 up to 150 symbols, they are going to occur with a probability of what? With a probability of 1 by 236. So that means 1 by 236 log of 236 multiplied by, so how many number of symbols? That is 118. So it will be multiplied by 118. So if you calculate this value, so you will be going to get your H of S. So now whatever the value we are going to calculate from the H of S, you are going to substitute here. So that is your H of S multiplied by, so what is your Rs now? So in the problem statement they have given that these source emits 200 symbols per second. That means per second it is going to emit 200 symbols. So that means it is nothing but your Rs. So H of S, whatever the value you are going to consider from here, so that you need to substitute here multiplied by 2000 symbols per second. So if you calculate your H of S calculated value multiplied by 2000, you will be getting your average information rate, that is nothing but your Rs value. So this is the solution for this particular problem. So now coming to the second problem, so where we have the problem statement like this, where a code is composed of dots and dashes. And assuming that a dash is 3 times long as a dot and has 1/3 the probability of occurrence. So that means to say that here we are going to use dots as well as dashes to represent a code. For example, if I want to use letter A. So in order to represent the letter A by using dots and dashes, I require many dots and dashes. So that means we are going to code the data by using your dots and dashes. For example, if I want to write my name. So if I want to write my name, so then I need to convert this name, or I want to convert these letters into dots and dashes. For example, if I consider the letter L. So L has to be represented in terms of dots and dashes. I don't know how many number of dots and dashes I require to represent L. Similarly for A, I require some dots and dashes. So that means we will be using dots as well as dashes to code the data. So here they have considered a code which is composing of dots and dashes, assuming that the dash, that means the probability of dash, that is P dash, is nothing but it is 3 times long as a dot. That means it is 3 times long as that of dot, and it has 1/3 the probability of occurrence. So adike P dash is equal to 1/3 the probability of P dot. Now calculate the information in a dot as well as a dash. That means I need to calculate what is the self information. So I need to calculate what is the value of I dot as well as what is the individual self information of I dash. So now in order to calculate my self information with respect to dot as well as with respect to dash, I need to calculate what is the probability of a dot as well as what is the probability of your dash. So now in general we know that the probability, sum of probability, that is P dot plus your P dash value will be always equal to 1. So and here given in the problem statement, P dash value is 1/3 the probability of P dot. So that means P dot plus 1/3 P dot will be equal to 1. So now if you simplify this, you will be getting what is your P dot value. So whatever the value you are going to get here, so from this, after getting the P dot value, you need to substitute the P dot value in your equation number 1. So now, so P dot plus P dash is equal to 1. So from here we have calculated the P dot value. So let us assume that the P dot value is 4/3 plus we need to calculate what is your P dash value. So if you simplify this, you will be getting, so what is the P dash value. So I have assumed that let P dot value is 4/3. I am not sure about P dot is 4/3. So whatever the value you are going to get, so you are going to substitute here and you are going to calculate the P dot and P dash value. So once you calculate the P dot as well as the P dash value, you are going to calculate what is its individual self information. So self information, that is individual self information of P dash. So P dash is equal to what? P dash is equal to, it is nothing but log of 1/pk. So in general, so now here we are calculating the dash value. So if you substitute the P dash value, you are going to get your I dash. So similarly, I dot value, that is nothing but the self information of I dot value is log base 2 of 1/p dot. So if you substitute, you will be getting what is the individual self information of your I dash as well as I dot. Now we have arrived at the first solution of the problem, that is information in a dot as well as a dash. So now we need to calculate what is the entropy of a dot to dash code. So entropy means it is nothing but we need to calculate what is your H of S. H of S with respect to what? With respect to dot as well as dash. So since we have two symbols here, that is one is dot as well as dash. So it will be equal to, so 1 by P dash log of P dash value plus 1 by P dot value log of P dot. So if you calculate, if you substitute the dash value as well as the dot value, you will be getting what is the entropy of dot to dash code. So after calculating the P dot as well as the P dash value, that is nothing but the entropy of dot to dash code. So next we need to find out what is the average rate of information. That means average rate is nothing but, once again we need to calculate what is your RS. So RS is given by H of S into RS. So now we need to calculate what is your RS. So RS here, they have told that the average rate of information if a dot lasts for 10 millisecond and this time is allowed between symbols. So totally how many number of symbols we have with respect to the problem here? We have totally 4 symbols. So that means to say that we have how many number of dots as well as how many number of dashes. So we have, so total number of symbols is 4 symbols here. Total number of symbols is equal to 4 symbols, as well as how many number of dots as well as dashes are here. So we have 3 dots and we have dashes is only 1 dash. So that is totally we have 4 symbols. Among 4 symbols we have 3 dots as well as 1 dash. So now they have told that if a dot lasts for 10 millisecond, that means, so we have 3 dots and 1 dash. So now with respect to this 4 symbols, we are giving a 10 millisecond, that means a 10 for a dot will be lasting for 10 millisecond, as well as, and the next occurrence of the dot will be there, and then again once again a gap of 10 millisecond and the next dot, and again 10 millisecond gap, and then the dash, and again 10 milliseconds to complete the arrival of this particular code. So that means we have, this is 1 dot, that means this is for 10 millisecond gap, and similarly here also we have again 10 millisecond, and once again here we have 10 millisecond. This is the gap and these are your dots, second, third, and this is your dash, and one more dot here which lasts for 10 millisecond. So this dash, the probability of this dash is what? It is 1/3 the probability of dot. That means it will be 3 times that of dot. Dot is what? Dot is for 10 millisecond. So this is also 10 millisecond and this is also 10 millisecond and this is 10 millisecond. So but the dash is 1/3 the probability of P dot. So it will be 3 times that of dot value. So it will be 3 into 10 milliseconds. That means to say that it will be 30 millisecond. So totally how many number of, what is the total rate we are going to get here? So it is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 60 plus 30 is 90 plus 10 millisecond. So totally we are going to get 100 millisecond. So this is your RS value. So now after calculating this RS value, you are going to substitute. So that means here RS is 100 millisecond. So after calculating your H of S, that is dot and dash code, multiplied by 100 millisecond. So you will be getting what is your total average information rate. So about this problem, so we have RS calculated value is 100 millisecond. So now here what is the total number of symbols we have considered? It is for per symbol we need to calculate. So it is 4 divided by 100 millisecond. So that will be your RS value. So multiplied by HS. So that gives your average information rate, that is RS. So now coming to this next problem statement. So where in the previous class we discussed about the extension of zero memory source. So where we discussed about the second extension, third extension, as well as in general what is the nth extension value. So now related to that extensions, so here I have considered an example to solve or to simplify the problem, and the problem statement is like this. So where a zero memory source has a source alphabet. So where it consists of 3 source alphabets, that is S1, S2 and S3 with the corresponding probability 1 by 2, 1 by 4 and 1 by 4. Find the entropy of this source, and also what we need to determine? We need to determine the entropy of the second extension, and also we need to verify, that is H of S square is equal to 2 times of H of S. So we need to find the extension of second extension here. So second extension means it is how many number of source symbols we have? We have 3 source symbols. So 3 source symbols, the extension what we require is second extension. So that means totally we need to find 9 source symbols. So let us consider the different combinations what we can consider to predict the 9 source symbols. So I can consider S1, S2, S1 and S1. Then I can consider S1, S3. Then I can go for S2, S3, S2 and S2, S2 and S1. Similarly, I can go for S3 and S1, S3 and S2, and we have S3 and S3. So totally how many number of symbols we have now? So totally we have 9 source symbols. So S1 and S2 means we need to consider what is the probability of S1 and S2. So S1 and S2 means it is 1 by 2 into 1 by 4. So it is 1 by 8. Similarly S1 and S1 is 1 by 4. S1 and S3 is 1 by 8. S2 and S3 is 1 by 16. S2 and S2 again it is 1 by 16. S2 as well as S1 it is 1 by 8. S3 and S1 it is 1 by 8. S3 and S2 it is 1 by 16. S3 and S3 it is 1 by 16. So this is how you are going to predict all the 9 source symbols with respect to the probability which is given for the second extension. So once you know all the probabilities, all the source symbols as well as corresponding probabilities are defined, next we need to calculate your H of S square. So H of S square is nothing but you need to calculate what is its entropy. H of S square is equal to, so how many number of source symbols we have? We have 9 source symbols, hence the summation varies from I is equal to 1 to 9 pi log of 1 by pi, and the units is bits per message symbol. So now among the 9 source symbols you can see many of the source symbols have the same probability. So that means if we consider 1 by 8 we have 1, 2, 3, 4 source symbols have 1 by 8, the probability is same. So I can consider 4 into 1 by 8 log base 2 of 8 plus I have 1 by 4 only 1, so I can consider 1 by 4 log base 2 of 4 plus, so we have 16, 1 by 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, so 4 into 1 by 16 log base 2 of 1 by 16. So now if you find this value, you will be getting your H of S square. So whatever the value of H of S square you are going to calculate, so that should be equal to 2 times of H of S. So you can calculate what is your So this is your h of s square value. So now you can verify that h of s is 2 times of h of s. That is h of s square is 2 times of h of s. So once you find out the value, you can verify whether it is going to have 2 times your entropy. So 2 times of h of s means you can consider h of s given here 3 source symbols. It is summation of I is equal to 1 to 3. So 1 by 2 log base 2 plus 1 by 4 log base 2 of 4 multiplied by 2. So if you calculate, you will be getting your h of s. So this is h of s and this is your h of s square. So whatever the value you have got for h of s square, so that you can verify with respect to the formula. That means h of s square value should be equal to twice the h of s value. That means this value what you are going to get, that is h of s value, it should be 2 times of h of s what you need to get for your h of s square. That is your h of s square is nothing but the second extension. The next problem statement is a certain data source has 8 symbols that are produced in blocks of 4 at a rate of 500 blocks per second. The first symbol in each block is always the same and the remaining 3 are filled by any of the 8 symbols with equal probability. So what is the entropy rate of this source? So entropy rate in the sense we need to calculate what is your RS, that is your capital RS. So RS is given by h of s into small rs, that is nothing but the symbols which are emitted per second. So now how many number of source symbols they have given? So totally we have 8 source symbols. So these 8 source symbols are represented in 4 blocks. So these are the 4 blocks what we have. So let us consider the 4 blocks as H1, H2, H3 and H4. So these are the 4 blocks what we have, and this 4 blocks has 8 symbols. So that means 8 symbols are produced with respect to these 4 blocks. And what is the rate which they are produced? They are produced at a rate of 500 blocks per second. That is nothing but RS is equal to 500 blocks per second. So now, and also they have given that the remaining 3 are filled by any one of the 8 symbols with equal probability. But the first symbol in each block is always the same. That means to say that the very first block always remains the same, means the first block will be always H1 will be equal to 0. So why it will be equal to 0 means, so since we are transmitting the data, so it will be in terms of blocks, or I can say that each block consists of some frame size, where in order to provide the synchronization with respect to the starting of the frame as well as the end of the frame, so we will be considering always the first bit to be equal to 0. So that's why the first block, that is H1, will be equal to 0 and it always remains the same. So that's why we have considered H1 will be equal to 0. So now what about H2, H3 as well as H4? So we need to calculate what is the information with respect to this the rest of the 3 blocks. So that means the remaining 3 are filled by any one of the 8 symbols with equal probability. So that means all of the rest of the 3 blocks are to be filled with equal probability with respect to 8 symbols. So that means we need to consider when the symbols are equiprobable, what you can write for your entropy. So your entropy H of S maximum, so is given by log Q, log base 2 of Q. So Q is nothing but what? Q represents the total number of source symbols. So how many number of source symbols we have? We have totally 8 symbols per block. So that's why here I can consider this equation to calculate my H2 value. So H2 means it will be having 8 symbols. So it is log base 2 of 8, which will be equal to 3 bits per block. So similarly we have H3. So it is also log base 2 of 8. So you will be getting 3 bits per block. And similarly we have H4 where we are going to calculate log base 2 of 8. Once again it is 3 bits per block. So now we need to calculate what is your total entropy with respect to all these blocks, that is HT. Total entropy is equal to H1 plus H2 plus H3 plus H4. So we have shown that H1 is equal to 0 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So it will be 9 bits per block. So this is the total entropy what we have got. So now we need to calculate what is your RS, that is nothing but the entropy rate. So RS is equal to HT is 9 bits per block multiplied by your RS value. What is your RS value? So RS value which is given, it is 500 blocks per second. So if you multiply, so it will be bits per second. So this is your RS value what we are going to calculate for this particular problem. So these are some of the examples related to your, these are with respect to independent sequences. So the next topic is related to dependent sequences. That means to say that if suppose if an event or if a probability has to occur, so then it has to depend only on the current state, not upon the previous state. So now in order to model or in order to find the average information rate with respect to the dependent sequence, so we are going to use a mathematical model which is called as a Markov model. So where we know that in the case of independent sequences, so it is going to predict the next. It is not going to depend upon the previous one or the succeeding symbol to predict the future. So that is what we studied with respect to the independent sequences. So now in order to find the average information rate with respect to dependent sequences, so we are going to use what we call as the Markov model. So we are using this Markov model, or it is also called as a random process or a stochastic process, where we will be using some states. In the sense we are going to use the present state to predict the future state, but we are not going to depend upon succeeding symbol. So that is what the meaning of your dependent sequence here. That means it is depending, that means it has memory. So independent sequences are the one which doesn't have any memory, because they are not going to depend upon the previous state for the prediction of the next state. So now we are going to consider the source which has memory, or I can say that the source which is dependent.